We'd like to. We want to get going here. All right. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Steve's Guitars. We are coming to you live from Carbondale, Colorado on this gorgeous evening. It's been a beautiful day here. We've got some amazing stuff for you all tonight. But before that, we need to send shout-outs to PM Consulting Limited up in Aspen and Feldman Wirtz Law Firm. These folks, through their generous contributions, afford us to be able to live stream. Couldn't be doing it without them. We want to send a shout out to GrassRoots Community Network. They host our live streams and couldn't do it without them either. A shout out to First Bank, banking for good. And a shout out to the Standiford clan for having this amazing space. Lastly, but never leastly, a shout out to those of you that are here supporting live music or are with us online. The artists appreciate the support. We appreciate the support. And if you don't walk away with anything else tonight, you'll have a tune in your head and a little skip in your step. And you've broadened your horizons. Without any further ado, these gentlemen are here for their first time to Carbondale, also their first time to Steve's Guitars. Please welcome John Brown.
Thank you. Alrighty, thank you guys for coming out tonight. This is Songs, Stories, and Art, Lessons from Strangers. So I'll be sliding by with some pictures here. And you'll notice it's set outside of Grand Central Station in New York City. My brother and I are born and raised a couple hours north of the city. And the individuals getting their portraits drawn, that will be who the song is going to be about. And in the background, you'll see some other folks, and that they will be the future songs. Some of these songs are true, and some of them are just kind of made up. But this guy right here, I met on the side of a rail trail back in 2015, and I was walking with my boys in a stroller at the time, and he told me his story, and it was a very emotional story. And I came back and I put his song down. Walking alone down a strip mall road in Daytona. All he's got to his name is his wallet and jeans and his phone. Straight up ahead he sees a 7-Eleven. 2 cold beers, he's back on the road. The telephone rings, his daughter's on the line. Remembers the time he bought her that yellow slip and slide. Thinks about his ex-wife, things were good for a while. 2 cold beers, he's back on the road. And he only knows where the good buzz goes. Like milk to the baby, turkey to gravy. Got a beer and a breeze, a hot dog with cheese. He only knows where the good buzz goes. Dipping his lip, gliding his stride, nothing to do. Gonna go play poker at the VFW. Pretty sure the moment he went crazy is when he gunned down that Vietnamese family. He came out of nowhere on a mud path. Pulled that trigger, couldn't take it back. That night he held that bottle like a baby, weeping by that Vietnamese family. Sometimes he goes to the grocery store just to feel that cart rolling on the floor. It makes him feel like a human being. 2 cold beers, he's back on the road. He only knows where the good buzz goes, where that Florida sunshine drips red as wine. Out on the pier, please have no fear if you see Private First Class Joe McGee. Out on the pier, please shake his hand if you see Private First Class Joe McGee. Thank you. I did not do the artwork. The best of my ability, I peaked probably in 3rd grade. I would draw giant heads on skateboards with a little scar on the cheek, and I have never improved since about that day back in 3rd grade. The artwork's done by folks all around the world. The last artwork was done by a guy who worked on a lot of the art, who was in Indonesia, and for the most part, he's done about 70% of the work. However, this next one was done by another young lady across the world, I believe in Russia. This is some time ago. This next song is called the Armadillo Song, and I lived in Florida for about 10 years or so. And one day I went out in my backyard and I tried to pick up a football that I thought my boys left. And it was not a football at all. It jumped up. And it kind of scared me. So out of that kind of experience came this song. This is called the Armadillo Song. If you'd like to sing along, feel free. There's a dead armadillo on the road, a dead armadillo on the road. My brother nicknamed it Bobby Joe, that dead armadillo on the road. And I said, hey there, bro. Bet you won't touch it with your toe. Bet you won't touch Bobby Joe, that dead armadillo on the road. My brother said, don't be silly. I'll touch that little armadillo. And out came his big toe, and he put it right on Bobby Joe. But then Bobby Joe jumped up, bit my brother in the butt. Can't believe it jumped so high, that dead armadillo was alive. That dead armadillo was alive. Woo-hoo! Dead armadillo was alive. My brother just ran and cried. That dead armadillo was alive. There was a dead armadillo on the road. A dead armadillo on the road. From the dead it rose, and now it's just walking on home. A dead armadillo on the road, woo-hoo. A dead armadillo on the road. From the dead it rose, and now it's just walking on home, and it's a happy ending. And believe it or not, a little story that goes before that. The first time I went to mow my lawn, there were about 4 5-foot alligators in a retention pond staring right at me. and I didn't know what to do. I had a little Honda lawnmower, and I was completely confused as to how I can mow my lawn. Amazingly, out of my neighbor, out of the door next door, my neighbor's house, this gentleman walks out. He introduces himself as James Bond. And he goes, "Nice to meet you. My name's James Bond." And he goes, "Do not worry about those gators." So I spent many years there mowing the lawn, and no problems at all with the gators. But the armadillos, yes, there were some problems. Let me retune my guitar. So this next song is a song that I just wrote actually in that kitchen right there in outside of Orlando, Florida. And when I wrote the song, it was just a completely made-up song. However, when I performed it probably a year later at a folk festival in South Florida, a gentleman came up to me and said, "You know, that song that you performed, The Wind," he goes, "that song right there is basically my life story. 99%, if not 100% of the facts or details that were expressed in your song, The Wind, is basically my life." So this song is for that man. I think about him every time I sing it. I was born on the streets below an underpass, outside of Dallas, beside broken glass. I never knew my father, the needle took his life. Mother loved the bottle, left me for the night. But I thank God the wind's been on my side. Thank God the wind's been on my side. When I turned 11, I stole a pair of shoes, and I just kept on walking and stomped away my blues. Wind's been on, the wind's been on, wind's been on my side. It blew me into New Orleans, where it saved my life. 'Cause I was just a boy, looking for a home. I was just a boy when those jazz horns filled Jackson Square, and that old man placed that silver trumpet in my hand. Thank God the wind's been on my side. When I played my trumpet, know I found my dream. Felt the wind blow through me like a magical airstream. Wind's been in my belly, it's been living my whole life. When I played those melodies, you know I found the light. No, I found the light, and so I thank God. Oh, yes, I thank God. Oh, yes, I thank God. Thank God the wind's been on my side. Thank you. So this next song, it's another story song. You'll notice a lot of the songs here are story songs. And I'm a school teacher. This is my summertime off right now. And when I was, a lot of these songs were written when I was in Florida, teaching down there. And I was working at the biggest middle school in all of America, actually, the biggest middle school in America. And it was lunch duty, and I was in charge of about 800 kids eating their lunch. And it was overwhelming. But one time, I just kind of laid in and listened to the laughter and not to all of the conversation. It was an interesting activity because my mind all of a sudden started to hear these different, conversations that were going on, and it wasn't through words. So this song kind of takes on that idea as laughter being a very important part of conversation. It's called Jesus and the Dinosaurs. So imagine an evolutionary biologist falling in love with a pastor. How would that turn out? We're going to find out. And we're coming from Connecticut, and I can only fit one guitar on the plane. Usually I have another one for those open tuning songs. All right, this is called Jesus and the Dinosaurs. Before Violet was a scientist and Hatcher was a pastor, they fell in love with each other's laughter in a little town up in Minnesota where you only order pop and you never order soda. And all through college, they never were facetious when they spoke about Darwin and Jesus. Hatcher was preaching early Sunday morning while Violet just read about dinosaurs. Jesus and dinosaurs, cup of coffee and let's ignore. Rather talk about the swinging door than Jesus and the dinosaurs. When they said I do in a Minneapolis chapel, all the clouds were shaped like pterodactyls. When their boy was born, on his name they quarreled. Hatcher said I like Jesus, Violet said I like Charles, as in Darwin. What did they do? When Charlie Jesus turned just 2, in the backyard they put in a pool. In the middle of digging, they hit a big stone. And Pastor Hatcher, he was standing there, looking at the sky, saying a prayer when Violet screamed, "It's a dinosaur bone." Jesus, a dinosaur, shot of whiskey and let's ignore. Rather talk about the diving board than Jesus and the dinosaurs. Sweet Violet that I adore, well, is our love a holy war? Baby, are we just a metaphor for Jesus and the dinosaurs? Things got really rough there in Minnesota, guys. Became winter time. With every season, the tension boiled. All the laughs sunk in the soil. In the kitchen light, no damn solution. Chicken or egg, Bible or evolution. When in the corner of the room the boy looked on, corduroy overalls and crayons. He said, Mommy, Daddy, look what I drored. With a tear in his eye by the pantry door, saying, I don't want you to fight no more, was a picture of Jesus hugging a dinosaur. Yeah, picture of Jesus hugging a dinosaur. And he looked up at his mom and dad. And he said, if Jesus loved the dinosaurs, you and Mama wouldn't fight no more. Hang it on the refrigerator door. What if Jesus loved the dinosaurs? And they tried to hold their laughter back, but what's the use in doing that? Every giggle's shaking their fat, and they hit it on the refrigerator door. I mean, they hung it on the refrigerator door. And even though Violet was a scientist and Hatcher was a pastor, they fell back in love with each other's laughter. In a little town up in Minnesota where you only order pop and you never order soda. And the message they both learned that day is you gotta laugh along the way. 'Cause time it goes by in the blink of an eye. And time it goes by, it's true. Since time goes by, we might as well try to laugh along the way. Laugh along the way. Thank you. Oh boy. That'd be interesting. So, this is the gentleman who's created much of the artwork here. The last song, The Wind, and some of the songs to come. I've never met him before. But in the year 2019, I reached out to him to just kind of create some artwork for some of these songs I've written that are story songs through a website called Fiverr. And I would send him about 12 pages of notes, and then he would come back and, complete the project. And each song would probably take about 2 months or so. So it's, it takes time. Now, in this process, since then, 2019, the world has changed dramatically. We basically can now create images by typing in 3 or 4 words. AI art, for me, at some level is a bit of a fear because I don't know where it's leading, I guess. And I'm not sure, I am hopeful that people will still value the process that it takes to complete something that takes a lot of time. And, I feel like we're moving more into a time when it's more about the destination instead of the journey. So this song is for Sapri. He's all the way in Indonesia right now. It's been nothing but a process and not a destination at all for us. So this song is for him. This is an instrumental song that my brother wrote to complement all of the artists in the world, and whether it's cooking food or painting pictures, this is for everybody out there who likes to create art. Is that the right key? There? That's it? Right there. Thank you. So this is my brother Steve, and my name is John. John. Growing up, it was John, because my dad's name is John, and so my mom would say John, and then we'd both come into the kitchen. So I became John, and now I have a son named John, and I don't call him John. So I think you got to draw the line somewhere. But I have been calling him Steve. This song's called The Brooklyn Viking. And about a minute and a half in, you're going to say to yourself, this song's not about brotherhood. But this is a song about brotherhood. And I'm certain that a minute and a half in, you're going to go, I don't think so. And then eventually it will be. Oh, I always do that. I always put my harmonica in the wrong side. And if you would like to sing along, there is a little melody here. It goes like this. Hoo, 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 hoo. Off the coast of Norway, out in the water, there lives a mermaid. She's the captain's daughter, and she sings, hoo, 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 hoo. And when I'm lonely, I go down to hear her. I bring a jug of cold beer. My worries disappear when she sings, hoo, 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 hoo. And my psychologist says, Stanley, there's no mermaids in the sea. He tells me we're in Brooklyn, but I know that he's lying, 'cause I'm a Viking. Off the coast of Norway, out in the water, there lives a mermaid. She's the captain's daughter. When I'm on the sidewalk, when I'm lost in the cracks, monsters in the window, I sing her song to relax. And I'm singing, do 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 do. And I might go to Jersey just to see my brother Mark. Every time I see his eyes, it's like I come out of the dark. He's the only one who believes me when I tell him where I've been. Somehow he still loves me. It's probably because we are twins. And I will see you soon, Marky. crossing the Brooklyn Bridge. We'll get fried pickles at that diner. We'll remember when we were kids. Remember when we were kids, Mark. Off the coast of Norway, we were out in the water. We were singing, loo doo doo doo, doo 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 doo, loo doo doo doo. We were singing, loo doo doo doo, doo 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 doo, loo doo doo doo. We were singing. We were singing. Thank you. Many of the songs here have slides that go by and tell the story. Unfortunately, this one, you'll just be looking at this picture the whole time. But it does have a story for me, at least. This song, back in 2015, which is hard to believe when you say 2015 was 10 years ago, but it was. And in September of that year, my brother Steve actually, he said, I'm all done with Florida. And I was still living in Florida. He takes off, and within a week, my appendix ruptures. And he's in North Carolina somewhere. Are you okay? I'm all right. And then the surgery didn't go so well. Next thing you know, I had this bacteria spilling into my stomach named ESBL that I must have picked up somewhere along the way. And it sent me a month in the hospital looking out at the cars going by, seeing people pull into Panera Bread and Target, wondering how they're doing that, and I'm not, and if I will be able to again. And then eventually, I'm able to walk outside. I see my kids again, and I'm walking around that same neighborhood where the alligators are in the retention pond, and I think to myself, I have one more ticket right now, that each day is basically a ticket to the day. This song's just about, this moment right here. I've been a hill heading down to a dead-end road by the crooked shadows on the stone, lost in the light, all alone, till I heard a whisper way up in the trees, said trust the roots, feel the breeze, trust the roots and feel the breeze. 'Cause if the dead were living and the living were dead, would it all be clear inside our heads? All be clear inside our heads. I've got to step outside my mind somehow. The good old days are right here now. The good old days are right here now. Wake up, one more ticket to the day. And I know nothing's meant to stay. 'Cause time it goes by and you don't want to die, knowing that your love just ran dry. One more ticket to the day. Wake up, one more sunrise. Wake up, you're still here. Well, if the dead were living and the living were dead, would it all be clear inside our heads? all be clear inside of our heads. And I've got to step outside my mind somehow. The good old days are right here now. Good old days are right here now. Wake up, one more ticket to the day. And I know nothing's meant to stay. Time goes by and you don't wanna die, knowing that your love just ran dry. One more ticket to the day. Thank you. Did I skip this one? The interesting thing about skipping songs when you have 12 visuals, it's a very slow process. You can't do. I should play it. Okay, I'll play it. All right. All right. So this idea, song stories and art lessons from strangers, was kind of born out of, believe it or not, this one of these pictures. So I first wrote a song about the folks sitting on top of a skyscraper in New York City eating lunch. And you ever see that picture before? It's a bunch of folks eating, it's called Lunch Atop a Skyscraper. And I wrote a song about what they were talking about. And then I said, oh, what about other New York State photographs? So I found this amazing person, born in the year 1838 in Auburn, New York, Annie Edson Taylor. At the age of 63 years old, she sends herself over Niagara Falls in a barrel. She did not have a penny to her name, and she said, I will not die penniless. Lost her husband David in the Civil War in the 1860s. Their infant child also passed away, so she wandered around all the way down to Mexico, San Antonio, eventually found herself in the icy Saginaw River in Michigan, and said to herself, I'm going to end it all. But then all of a sudden, she had a premonition, and she went over to Niagara Falls to try to make a name for herself. So this is called Queen of the Mist. And I think this song feels better if you can actually imagine yourself, close your eyes, feel yourself on the edge of your chair, and imagine that you are then inside a barrel heading on down. I'm afraid of heights. I always have been. She buried her only child a couple years before. Her husband David died in the Civil War. And like a dead leaf blowing, poor Annie roamed, looking for a home from New York to San Antonio. Time's a dirty thief, how winter can steal fall. Broken old it left her, and soon the poorhouse called. Seeking hope, she read the news about Niagara Falls, where the daredevils go and risk it all for fame and gold. Poor Annie wandered in the wind on an eastbound train up to the mighty beast, and when she heard it roar, she only had one wish, to be Niagara's Queen of the Mist. The Queen of the Mist. crowd gathered round, they called it suicide. 63 years old into that barrel, and he climbed. The police tried to stop her, there's no looking back. On down the raging river, her lucky pillow on her lap. She sent her cat over 2 days before. "50 feet, now 40 feet, now 30 feet away. The devil had the reins, all Annie did was pray. A mighty blast cracked the wood, she screamed out bloody hell. It was like a silent movie from afar as Annie fell. And down below folks cried, it's a casket in the sky. Children screamed out loud, that old lady's gonna die. When that barrel rose from the deep, they cut off the lid. And on her gravestone it reads exactly what she did. Was the first to go over Horseshoe Falls in a barrel and live. In another tale it tells how she died penniless. Is a sideshow act named the Queen of the Mist. Yeah, she's Annie Edson Taylor, Queen of the Mist. Annie Edson Taylor, she's the Queen of the Mist. Ooh. Thank you. So sometimes a conversation will kind of spark a song idea. And for me, this is this next song. Conversation that I kind of overheard. So I was in a hardware store, and I heard a gentleman who was checking out, talking to the cashier. The cashier owned the place. And based on their exchange, I can tell they had been friends for a long time. And I heard probably about 30 seconds. You know, you ever been in a situation where you overhear like 30 seconds of a very emotional conversation? Or almost when like you're walking through town, maybe, and you just see someone cry, and you're like, you know, was that person experiencing an emotional moment? And I just walked by as the passerby, and I have no idea what's going on. And that was kind of what happened here. It's an interesting thing, you know. The song's called On Our Own Again. In a small town graveyard sits an old man who just prays. Since she's died, life's been too hard. He just thinks about their wedding day. And In his hand he holds an old key. Used to open their first home. When he leaves, he passes that old street. The house is there, but everything is gone. And he's on his own again, like a leaf in the wind. Born into this world alone. In between we look for home, then on our own again. On the outskirts of Reno, a woman's face is black and blue. She cries a last tear and then knows this isn't love, what I've been through. And she's on her own again, like a leaf in the wind. Born into this world alone. In between we look for home, then on our own again. Suitcase in a desert motel. She thinks about the roads gone wrong. Her makeup tries to hide her blackened eyes. Hesitantly picks up her phone. He's had a tear that's been falling since he left his wife's gravestone. But once he saw his daughter calling, he knew deep inside he's not alone. Ooh, ooh, ooh. 'Cause she's coming home again, like a prayer in the wind. Born to this world alone, but I know there is a home in love, my friends. Yeah, she's coming home again, like a prayer in the wind. Born into this world alone, but I know there is a home in love, my friends. Thank you. I skipped one. Oh, I won't skip this one. This next song, I've always had I once read about I think it was a scientist or someone who spent their whole life trying to solve something, and then they just realized it was wrong. And it was like, well, that was my life. And I feel like there's something there that's awesome.
You know, I feel like that's the coolest thing. Maybe in some weird way, in some weird dimension, someone's looking down, going, "You did it right." And I don't know why I feel that way. Maybe I don't know, but I do. Uh, this song's called "Uncle Norm's Golf Cart with Wings," and it's about a failed inventor. Next question for you. If a golf cart with wings were to smoothly glide down and land without a sound on the streets outside of Steve's Guitars, and the chauffeur or the individual who's driving it looked very trustworthy, raise your hand if you would step inside the golf cart with wings and take a flight. I'm not saying this is going to happen tonight, but there's a chance. So this this past we were in New Jersey and Pennsylvania last weekend, and I played just the melody note of the song. Steve was like, "You can't do that anymore, man. It just sounds terrible." So I've decided that was on the ride home. See, we have played music together for a very long time. Open mics around Central Florida for years in a 1999 red Honda Civic. So it's okay. And oh no. There we go. Anyway, this thing tells me when to change the pedal. I have a foot pedal up here. So then this past week, I told myself I need to play the melody somewhere different. So I took out a kazoo, and then I took out the harmonica and the harmonica one. So the song is about the beauty of failure. And it makes it okay if I fail the song. It's part of it. All right, here we go. I think I am. Is this the right harmonica? It is. All right. It's not. He's going to yell at me. That's okay. Oh man, that was his early '90s WWF voice right there.
Morning after my Uncle Norm died, I missed him so much, so I stepped inside the old garage where he lived his life as an inventor who failed every time. His parachute jacket hung ashamed on the wall by the spray-on hair, the rectangular ball. But I nearly fainted, my heart sure did sing when I first laid eyes on his golf cart with wings. Do-do-do-do, do-do, golf cart with wings. The keys were still in the ignition, its motor hummed with precision. And Martha screamed out the window, "Stay away from that thing, that's your Uncle Norm's golf cart with wings." Do-do-do-do-do-do. I don't know why, but I just cried. Somehow this machine was much larger than life, a big old dream that shriveled and died. I don't know why, but I cried. And with one bold vision, I dropped that clutch. Aunt Martha screamed as the wings lifted up. Right by her upstairs window I flew. She jumped up for joy. Norm's dream had come true. And I crashed 1 second later. Squashed all the garden's tomatoes. Slammed in front of a granite garden plaque. And that golf cart went smack. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Garden plaque read, failure's storm. Just ride it out till it's sunny and warm. And you may even bottle lightning and somehow give birth to a golf cart with wings. And Uncle Norm's last words were, I'll take one more swing. He's probably in the next life tinkering. It's some kind of symbol, this golf cart with wings. Go follow yours. Do it for Norm. Take one more swing. It's your golf cart with wings. What is your golf cart with wings? Thank you. So I went to college in Western New York, and at some point, my friend said, hey, we're going to go on spring break to Panama City. And I said, okay. I got in the back of his, must have been like an late 80s Nissan Sentra. It was maroon. And kind of slept in the back. And I woke up, and he said, we're in Kentucky. I heard someone say, we're in Kentucky. And I opened my eyes. I had never been to Kentucky. And I woke up, and there was a hill with a goat and a rainbow over the goat. And I couldn't believe it. I kind of just stood. I kind of looked at it for a second. And again, he goes, this is Kentucky. And it kind of was like I was brainwashed. I was like, Kentucky is the greatest place in the world. And then we eventually stopped off at a diner. And there was a woman there with a tattoo on her arm. And the tattoo on her arm was of a young man. And I remember somebody at the table said, well, who's the guy on your arm? And I don't know if this is true or not, but many years later, I was just kind of sitting around. I go, was that really what happened? That guy on her arm meant that to that woman, the waitress in Kentucky, where people were smoking cigarettes as March Madness was going on? So this song's for that woman, maybe. We felt the cool touch of the aluminum chairs, our graduation caps pulled over our hair, the mysteries of being 18, the open road, a blank page for dreams. We spent all summer by the reservoir, making love, making plans, making sure we never let our love fade away, never let the night fade to day. The morning watched it fade to blue, and I knew I'd always love you. When we took the corner by the lake too fast, I slammed the brakes, we spun, the water crashed. Like a stone, we sank beneath the sun. It was rising like a thief on the horizon. Window smashed, I somehow set you free. Can't forget, you're looking down on me. You were rising in a stream of golden water. The angel of death came, I fought her. The morning moon broke through, you disappeared to blue, and I knew I'd always love you. By this lake for 60 years I've lived as a ghost. You still won't set me free, won't let me go. And all I see is our graduation day, the sunlight shining on your face. The morning moon broke through, and I danced with you when I first knew I'd always love you.
Thank you. We got a couple more for you guys. Thank you guys again for coming out. Appreciate it. Ralph, thanks for having us. We appreciate it. It's a beautiful place to be. This next song is an interesting one. I played this song a couple times. Should I play this one? Yeah? Okay. I can't skip songs. You're curious. Okay. This next song does have a lesson. Many of these songs here, I don't want to say lesson, but they kind of have like an underwriting, like little thing, I guess, little morsel. And I was playing this song down in Greer, South Carolina, and a guy made it real weird for me. He goes, "That's you." Before I even said anything, it was just up there, and I go, "No." And he goes, "Yeah, it is." And I go, "Nope." And he goes, "Yup." And I go, "This is not my story. This one's not my story." And he goes, "Yeah, it is." He was just doubling down on me. And I go, "Trust me, man, this is not like after, like not this slide, not the next slide, but the slide after. You don't want this. I don't want this one to ever be my story." Anyway, this one's called "One More Hot Dog in Yellowstone." I never really give hints, but I will say a dung beetle has a very important role in this song. I need to tune that. The dung beetle? Yeah, Peter, Paul, Ringo, George, and Dung. I think I've seen a dung beetle out in the wild. Anybody ever see a dung beetle out there just rolling around? Did you say golf cart with wings? That's interesting you said that because this is this song features. I usually say, just in case you were worried, this song has a golf cart with wings in it as well. Did you say that? Oh, you did. Oh, right on. All right, here we go. Here we go. Bartender, one more round. Come gather around. I'll tell you a story about this woman I once loved. Oh, and I caught her doing the neighbor. I remembered holding her hand in labor. It was Steve Petrucci. He's the town florist. Our kids sang side by side in the 5th grade chorus. Well, I choked before I cried, ran screaming outside, had a vision of a golf cart with wings. But all I had was my Corolla. No, I could not fly away from my cheating wife Marie on that sad summer day. So I gunned it north to Wyoming, wondering what the hell happened. Bought some whiskey and a sleeping bag somewhere in Jackson. And then I had. If you'd like to sing along, feel free. One more hot dog in Yellowstone, one more hot dog in Yellowstone. Drank that whiskey till it was gone, then one more hot dog in Yellowstone. Do-do-do-do, do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do, do-do-do-do. No, I awoke with one cheek in the dirt. Petrucci's face in my mind, that jerk. Went in between my nose and a bottle cap was a little dung beetle rolling a ball of crap. You know, I screamed before I spoke, then howled a little joke to that dung beetle in the dirt and grit. I said, life gives you shit, and you just roll with it. You're like a little Buddha for the broken. So boys, I wrenched off my wedding ring and I stuck it in that dung. And then I watched it roll away like a brown setting sun. And I've never been one for esoteric signs, but old faithful shot up in the sky, and I came alive. Ooh. And then I had one more hot dog in Yellowstone, one more hot dog in Yellowstone. Rolled with it from that day on, one more hot dog in Yellowstone. So my good friends, when life gives you shit, all you gotta do is roll with it. Take it from that dung beetle in the dirt and grit. All you gotta do is roll with it. Well, Marie and Petrucci
I guess they split up. I saw Petrucci at the flower shop, man. He was in the dumps. I said, heading north to Yellowstone, that's all you gotta do. Look for the little guy who is rolling poo. That's all you gotta do, Steve Petrucci. Roll with it.
Thank you. All right, this next song is kind of based out of a conversation I had in Orlando, Florida, probably in the year 2007 or so. Yeah, believe it or not, wow, that's crazy. That's nuts. I like this quote right here a lot. That would maybe be like a motto for me in life here.
On Black Friday at the Walmart, I met Jesus. He had a special kind of sadness to his eyes. As people ripped each other into pieces over 80-inch TVs and house supplies. And I know the doctors all call me schizophrenic. My brain is broke. What I see ain't authentic. Like that devil laughing down in aisle 20. Black Friday sun was shining like a penny through Walmart's doors. And then I lit a cigarette in the parking lot. Remembered everything that I forgot. Sang a Tom Petty song real loud. Are you a father to each dollar and a stranger to your son? Hey, 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 when the day is done. And I said, Jesus, you're on sale in aisle 7. Come with inflatable gates of heaven. You know I hate to see you sad. Let's get out of here, friend. Up on the hill I got a tent on a patch of sand. And he said no one even looks up at the stars anymore. There's a billion lights hiding above this town. All them lost people would be alright if they just soaked in a little starlight. And I said amen, I hear you, friend. And then I lit a cigarette in the parking lot. Remembered everything that I forgot. Sang a John Prine song real loud. Someone's looking up to you. Don't you let that person down. Hey, 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 when the sun sets down. on this hill above Walmart, as all them shoppers fill their hearts with their shopping carts. Me and Jesus, we are hatching a plan. They say I'm this crazy guy, 'cause all I need's right here inside. Hey, when the day is done, are you a father to each dollar and a stranger to your son? Hey, 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 when the day is done.
Thank you. I have a couple more for you guys. Probably 2.5 to be exact. This song's a true story. I had to renew my certification in the state of Florida, and I was on a seminar to, I guess, renew my certification, as I already mentioned. And there was a gentleman giving a lecture, and he gave this lecture, and my heart instantly couldn't believe what he was telling me. And I couldn't believe his life experiences. You know, when you speak to somebody, and then all of a sudden, when you hear their life experiences are so deep and sad. His life experience was extremely sad, and he was still grateful. So this song is for this gentleman, and I hope he's still alive. He was probably about 85 about 15 years ago, so I hope he's still alive. He has taught me a lot, just in the 10 minutes that I heard him speak.
Family photos on the door, burger wrappers on the floor. He worked Coney Island till midnight. Yossi the balloon man, the Italian widows call him. To his mother, he was the cutest in the world. It's one more Sunday afternoon, another cocktail at Lou's. Yossi wonders how they make the liquor green. His balloon animals get the laughs, a pink poodle, a blue giraffe. It's hard to hold on to what's gone when it's gone. And only love will bear the weight of moving on. And it's a spring. It's the spring of 44. He's a child of the war, torn from the basement of his family's home to a concentration camp with a body cold and cramped, separated from his mother by the train tracks. Knock on the barracks door where a man covered with sores is smuggling him a hard-boiled egg, saying, "Happy birthday, little boy. Your mother wished it could have been a toy. Take this blanket for your legs and a little salt for your hard-boiled egg." And he was gone. And only love will bear the weight of moving on. And on that Coney Island bench where old hot dogs kicked a stench, Yossi listens to the ocean's lullaby. A pink poodle, a butterfly, pretty soon it's lunchtime. By his heart's a hard-boiled egg. The high rollers in this town, they just see an old clown as the Ferris wheel goes round and round. While Yossi's in his mind, beneath an Auschwitz sky, imagining his mother boiling water with nothing to her name but her undying love. In the Atlantic wind, he imagined her above. She is saying, happy birthday, my son. You know you'll always be my little one. Take this blanket for your legs and a little salt for your hard-boiled egg. And when I'm gone, know that love will bear the weight of moving on. Family photos on the door, burger wrappers on the floor. He worked Coney Island till midnight. Thank you.
So I usually say, before I play that song, before my saddest song is usually my happiest song, right after. And now this is, I guess, in a way, my happiest song. It's and written by my son, I should say, my son John. Back in 2019, he said, "Hey, Dad, let's write a song." He's 12 and a half now, so he's probably almost 7. And I said, "What do you want to write a song about?" And he said, "Let's write a song about a beard." And I said, "Cool. All right, let's write a song about a beard, you know." And then, amazingly, I guess, the song was done in like 3 or 4 minutes to the part where it was pretty much like he wrote the song, in a way. And then this song's for my son John. It's this big old beard. I would like to have a giant beard. I don't know, though. You know, just like for a moment, I would like to have a beard that just goes on. You know what I mean? Like it would be cool. You know, like where you're just traffic's in a way. You know, and you're here. You know, and it's like, I'm sorry, but then I wouldn't want it for much longer than that.
Yeah, I got a big old beard. I got a big old beard. I've been growing it out for 104 years. My great-grandkids use it as a slide. Great-grandkids use it as a slide. Out of the kitchen window they ride. Yeah, it's growing all around my house. Growing all around my house. Out in the garden near that crazy mouse. You guys spot the crazy mouse? I bet it's bigger than 30 big pigs. Bigger than 30 big pigs. And I can play it like a fiddle and do the Irish jig. I'm doing the Irish jig. Uh-oh.
That's my first foot miscue of the night, I think.
Hot cakes on the griddle with syrup in the middle. Ain't this a beautiful life? My beard grew a little in the middle of the fiddle, so says my beautiful wife.
I'm gonna hold on to this slide for a second because I've always thought it's so like like the progression of their relationship in the upper left-hand corner. And the thing that always was so weird to me was like and I love it, and I can't say these things over like notes on I love the pink, I don't know why, with the yellow in the middle. It's like, it's such a weird thing to have in your kitchen. But maybe we're starting a trend right now. Maybe we'll like all across, starts in Carbondale, people have little pink orbs and yellow with the progression of their relationship. And they're like, where did that pink and yellow orb trend start? And it was at Steve's Guitars. Yeah, that's strange, right? That already happened now. It's happened. What's next? Yeah, I got a big old beard. I got a big old beard. Stay away from me with your garden shears. And over in my neighbor's yard, there's a big old St. Bernard. He's looking at me like I've lost my marbles. But I'm just underneath my pine tree, setting my mind free, singing in the wind. Don't take life so seriously. Do-do-do-do. Just a little bit of advice from me. Hot cakes on the griddle with syrup in the middle. Ain't this a beautiful life? What's next? I love you, my beautiful wife. Hot cakes on the griddle with syrup in the middle. Love you, my beautiful wife. Oh yeah. My beard grew a little in the middle of the fiddle. Love you, my beautiful wife. Dum, dum, dum. Love you, my beautiful wife. Happy 91st anniversary. Thank you. Hey, thanks again for coming out. We're going to close it down tonight with a song from my buddy Sapri, all the way in Indonesia. Without him, this project would not be possible. So the concept here is that's kind of him right there. I think I wanted him to kind of draw himself. It doesn't really look like him, but it was, once again, it was hard to be like, hey, draw you. But I like that guy. That's him too. All right, here we go. This is called The Artist. In the shadows of Grand Central, I paint portraits all day long. Sometimes the people share their stories. They tell me the road they've been on, and I get lessons from these strangers when I paint their smiles and paint their shrugs. Somehow the lines on their faces all lead back to fear and love. And I know, time, you are a thief, how winter's always stealing fall. But it's you who helps me see. You help me see that love is underneath it all, beneath the darkness as we fall. It's in the morning, hear it call. Love is underneath it all. So in this time that we're here, may we love more than fear. And may we know in this time, that love is underneath it all.
the darkness as we fall. It's in the morning, hear it call. Yeah, love is underneath it all.
Maybe not for that one.
Yeah, love is underneath it all.
Thank you guys for coming out tonight. Thank you so much. Thanks for having me, Ro. Thank you.